The sun is shining, we are wearing a spring dress. It's time for a spring reset. Personally, I did not realize how much my mood was being affected by the weather until we had our first 75-degree day here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and my serotonin shot through the roof. I am so happy that it is spring. Life has been a little chaotic recently, and we need to just have a chill, cozy week where we can have a little bit of mundanity, do some planning. So first things first, I'm gonna send you back to me from the past to create our little vision board phone background of all of my memories from the winter season, and then we'll meet back here and chat about content and TBR plans for the spring. My winter spring wallpaper is done. I'll put it here so you guys can see. I'm so happy that I started doing this last fall. It has been truthfully so nice to just have a physical reminder every single time I pick up my phone of all of the nice, fun things that I do with my friends through a given season. So if you're new here, I do this every single quarter. I go through my camera roll and I will pull photos from the previous season. So now that it is March and we're doing our spring reset, I pulled all my photos from this winter and they are now set as my lock screen and my home screen. So every time I pick up my phone, I have a nice little reminder of actual real life things that I'm doing that bring me joy and make me happy. I think the next thing we're gonna do is some content planning, TBR planning. So let's go plan what spring content is gonna look like, and then we'll figure out what books I need to get and we'll go book shopping. Content has been planned. I'm gonna tell you guys about a couple of the videos that are coming up. I'm gonna keep some of them a secret. I am gonna do a spring book recommendations video at the end of March that I'm really excited about. Actually, that'll probably be going up the week after you see this. And then I'm gonna do another free little library unhaul. My bookshelves are absolutely packed to the brim right now, and I do not want to purchase any more bookshelves. I don't want to be adding any furniture into my life. I think it's time to do a big unhaul, and I would love to go and donate to the little free libraries around Charlotte, so I'll take you guys along for that. If you haven't seen the little free library videos I've done previously, I'll link those in the description, but I'll try to go to ones that I haven't gone to before because I have done this in Charlotte before. There's also a book crawl that happens in Charlotte every year in April, and I would love to take you guys along for that. We'll try to fit that into a video somewhere. I don't know if that's going to be its own video, if it's just going to be in a different vlog, but we'll try to put that in there somewhere. I'd love to do one of those very specific book recommendations videos. So I'll put a call out on Instagram later. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's always in the description. If you have a very specific book recommendation that you are looking for, put those in the comments. It can literally be anything. You can ask me for a book that is similar to something. You can ask me for a book that is encapsulated by a few emojis or choice words. Just let me know what you're looking for and I will try to recommend you a book. And the last thing I'll tell you about is the motherhood vlog is happening. Those of you who've been here for a while will know that I've been grappling with the idea of whether or not to have children, and I have been reading many books on the topic, and hopefully on Mother's Day we will launch the video and you will see whether or not I've been convinced to have children. This means that we need to go collect some books, so I'm gonna send you to me from the future and we're gonna go on a little book shopping excursion and we'll do a little book haul and you can see some of the things that are gonna be coming up on the channel in the next couple months. Ignore all the junk on the chair. We are going book shopping tomorrow, but I thought it might be interesting, fun for you guys if I walked you through how I source my books, because obviously I read a lot of things and we're trying to save as much money as possible so that we can go travel the world. So here's my system for trying to get the most amount of books for the least amount of money. I'm gonna simplify this process so this portion of video is not 20 minutes long, but if you want a dedicated video just talking about how I source books and how I save money on books, if you want to see that, I'm happy to make that video, so just let me know in the comments and I will make it for you. I get my books from a lot of different places. I use my library system. I use Everend, which is an audiobook subscription. I use Libro FM for audiobooks. I buy books secondhand from a couple of different sources. You lovely people send me books sometimes from my Amazon wishlist, which I am so appreciative of. And then obviously I do buy books new occasionally. The way that I try to lessen the aggravation that this process brings on is through a couple of different methods. A, Notion to keep myself organized on where I can find every book. and what format that is in so I can plan like my audiobook reading versus my print reading to make sure that I have enough time planned for each video. Then I also use this browser extension called Library Extension. So when you go on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, when you're looking up the book, it'll pull up like the library systems that you have linked, and then also your like audiobook subscriptions. So I have like Everand in there, and I have all of my library cards, and Hoopla's in there, so it can kind of show me where I can get the things, so I can try to get them for the least amount of money possible. Again, if that's too confusing and you want a whole video about this, I'm happy to make it. Just let me know in the comments. Basically, now I have 3-ish videos over the next couple of months that I don't have all of the books for, that I basically have 0 of the books for, and they require a lot of books. So I've done a lot of shopping on Pango. I've done a small amount of shopping on Amazon because some of them were independently published and that's the only place I could get them. But now I get to take a trip to the bookstore to go and buy a couple of the last things that I need. I will see you tomorrow. We are bringing a friend with for a book shopping excursion. We stopped for ice cream on the way home from the bookstore, which was fantastic, but we have made it back now. And I have 3 things to show you guys that I am very excited about. So the first thing is one of my most anticipated books of the year. This is A Botanical Daughter. This is a fungal horror situation, and I've never heard of this author before. This book just came across my feed and I thought that I immediately had to have it. You guys know that I love books that have to do with fungus, and the central thing that is happening in here. So we have this like kind of like mad scientist type character who finds this fungus, decides to grow the fungus using a dead body as a substrate. So the fungus is basically like growing out of this human. It's an intelligent fungus. So I can't wait to see what zombie situation comes out of this. That's the first thing that I got. The second thing that I got is a silly little romance. So I read Love Light Farms by this author last winter, I believe, and I really, really liked it. I've just been looking for like a nice, sweet romance to read this spring. It's been a while since I read something that was just warm and fuzzy. So let me read you the back of this because it does sound really, really good. A small town baker learns to raise her expectations for love with some help from a handsome local teacher in this sunny romantic comedy. Layla Dupree has given up on love. She's waded through all the fish in the sea, each one more disappointing than the last. Apparently, owning the bakery at Ingleweld's most romantic destination does not help one's love life, despite Layla's best efforts. All she wants is a partner who gives her butterflies, not someone who goes to her dinner and leaves her with a check. Good thing Caleb Alvarez has the perfect solution. After saving Layla from another date gone bad, he has a simple proposition: 1 month of no strings dating. He'll do his best to renew her faith in men while she rates his romantic game. It's a win-win situation. All the benefits of dating without the added pressure of feelings and unmet expectations. But there's one ingredient they haven't considered. The chemistry between them is red hot, and the urge to take things to the next level is more tempting than Layla's mocha fudge brownies. It sounds sweet and nice. I'm excited about it. Let me know if you guys have read this and if you've read anything else by this author. They did have another book by this author. I don't remember what it's called, but I'll put it here. Let me know if you've read either of these and if they were good. This one was the most appealing to me. It sounded a little bit sweeter, a little bit cozier, but let me know if this one's good too. And the last thing we got at the bookstore is 50 Beasts to Break Your Heart. This is also something that was on my most anticipated of 2024. This is from the author of Thistlefoot, which I absolutely loved. I read this when I read the Goodreads Choice Awards in 2022. I was so pleasantly surprised with how much I loved this, and so I've been wanting to pick up more from this author, and when I found out that she was coming out with a short story collection, I was hooked. I mean, like, do we see what's happening in here? I cannot explain to you how excited I am. Like, this cover, everything about this is stunning, and I can't wait to read this. Because it's a short story collection, I don't really have much in the way of a synopsis, but I did read the first couple of pages, and it looks like the first story is about an eternal staircase, and the way that it was set up was talking about like the rules for the eternal staircase. and that was just a wild ride, which I very much enjoyed. So super, super high hopes for this. We also have some packages to open. I have 3 things that have come in the mail. A lot of the things that came in the mail that I ordered for content plans for spring haven't come in yet because I ordered them on Pango, so they're gonna take a while. But this is here, and this came all the way from England, I believe. This is another YouTuber's poetry collection, and I'm really excited about this because the last time I bought a YouTuber's poetry collection, it went very well. I really love Bargain Bin Romcom by Lena Norms. I'm excited to try out Hannah Louise Postons. I have absolutely no idea what to expect from this, but with a cover that looks like this, we're sure to have some things going on. I'm not sure when I'm gonna get to this. I have some other poetry that I want to read for a video coming up, so this might have to go on the back burner for a while, but let me know. Have you read this? Are you interested in this? If you have read it, I'd love to know what you thought of it. Okay, I think this is something for our cozy fantasy video. Yes, it's the Cybernetic Tea Shop. I'm so excited about this. It's so incredibly short. I'm thinking I want to do a 7 books in 7 days video. I don't know if I told you that. I'm doing a 7 books in 7 days video where I read 7 cozy fantasy books in 7 days, and I thought this one would be great because it's short and everyone seems to love it. It's like cozy sci-fi. We have a robot and an AI repair technician, and I think it's like their relationship. Let's read the back together. Clara Gutierrez is an AI repair technician and a wanderer. Her childhood with her migrant worker family has left her uncomfortable with lingering for too long, so she moves from place to place across retro-futuristic America. Sal is a fully autonomous robot. Older than the law declaring her kind illegal due to ethical concerns, she is at best out of place in society and at worst vilified. She continues to run the tea shop previously owned by her long-dead master, lost in the memories of the past, struggling to fulfill her master's dream for the shop while slowly breaking down. They meet by chance, but as they start spending time together, they both begin to wrestle with the idea of moving on. This sounds so sweet and interesting. I feel like it's gonna give similar vibes to A Closing Common Orbit, which I absolutely loved, so we shall see if this lives up to the hype that I have created for myself in my own head. The last thing I have to share with you is something that came from Pango. I almost canceled this order because it's taken weeks to get to me, but it is finally here, so let's open it. This is Snapdragon, and one of you lovely people recommended this to me. This was supposed to go in the 5-star predictions video because it's got the magical realism, slightly speculative, cozy fantasy situation, and I believe there's also an animal companion in here. We may use this for the cozy fantasy, or I may hold on to it for another 5-star predictions video in the future. Needless to say, thrilled that this has arrived. And that is our little mini book haul. Wow, these all look so satisfying together. 6 books that I'm very excited to read this spring, and the rest of the things that I ordered from Pango are on their way to me as well. But unfortunately, I don't get to unbox them in this video, so maybe we'll have to do another book haul later. Before I send you back to talk about some of my favorite things, we have to do a quick chaotic life update because we can't have a cozy reset without something going wrong. Yesterday, I was driving home from tutoring with Dan, and I heard a funny noise, and I went, "There's something in my tire." And sure enough, there was a drill bit stuck in my tire. I have never heard of anyone getting a drill bit stuck in their tire. Nails? Sure, but I've never seen anyone get a drill bit in their tire. So Dan very kindly helped me to change my tire, and by helped me to change my tire, I mean Dan changed my tire while I held a flashlight, and I am so grateful that that man is in my life. He takes care of me so well, and I am so appreciative of him. Dan, if you're watching, thank you. I love you very much. Thought you guys might enjoy hearing about that little piece of chaos. Let's go talk about favorite things. I think my favorite thing about resets is I get to tell you guys about all of my favorite things that are not just related to books. So let's dive into some of those. You guys know I've been on a perfume journey, and I have found my favorite perfume brand and my favorite perfume, and I have decided not to purchase a full bottle of anything for reasons that we'll get into. First of all, my absolute favorite perfume that I have ever smelled is Jadoob by Mind Games. This thing is incredible. So I have been using Scentbird to try to figure out like what my taste is in perfume. This is not sponsored. I paid for this with my own money. Oh my goodness, this is the best way to like try out new perfumes in my opinion because they are so freaking expensive. My favorite is Jadoob. It's a pomegranate leather fragrance, and it is just the most beautiful thing I've ever smelled in my life. Every single time I wear this out, people will stop me in bars and tell me how good I smell. And my second favorite is Blockade. It's a mango fragrance and it's gonna be perfect for spring and summer. It's just, oh, it just smells so good. And they're such complex scents. They really smell sophisticated and they also last forever. It's an extrait de parfum instead of an eau de parfum, so it's got more oil content and they're incredible. These bottles are also so stunning because they're little chess pieces. I think they are so freaking cool and I would love one day to have one of these on my dresser, but they are $375 each and I do not have $375 to spare. So I'll be using up my Scentbird bottles and then I will decide if it's time to bite the bullet. And I have quite a bit left of these perfumes, so I'm hoping that they will last me a long time. The other thing to consider is that Dan and I are attempting to do quite a bit of traveling, so I'm trying not to acquire a lot more things right now. I'm trying to remove things from my life. So spending that much on smelly liquid is not in the budget right now, but I do love those with my whole heart and I wanted to share them with you. The last thing I'll say about perfume before you get annoyed and click off, the name Jadoob is so cool. I just learned this. I don't know anything about chess, but I wanted to be a chess girly growing up. My brother knew how to play chess and he wouldn't teach me because I was an annoying little sister. But apparently if you want to like reposition a piece, like adjust it without like making a move, you say Jadoob, which means that you're just gonna adjust it. I thought that was cool. Chess trivia for those of you who also don't play chess. The next thing I want to chat about is not a purchase, but an activity, a thing that Dan and I have both been doing. We have been tutoring some middle school and high school kids. Truthfully, this is like the best part of my week. The best part of my week is being able to go and do something that is so tangible. This student needs help with a math problem. They don't understand how to do this piece of math. And then I can help them understand the math. And in an hour, I feel like I have actually tangibly made a difference and it makes me feel so much better. So if you've been feeling a little bit out of it, if you've been feeling a little bit like you're spinning your wheels with work or school or whatever it is that you're working on, I would highly recommend taking half an hour every week to do some sort of volunteering. It's made me feel so much better and there's so many different things out there that you could do that would really value your time. Okay, the next thing I want to tell you about is my nails. I am officially a press-on nails girly and a couple of you guys have asked about this exact set, so I want to tell you where they're from. This is the Limoncello press-ons from Glamnetic. Once again, not sponsored, bought this with my own money, although Glamnetic, if you want to sponsor, I would love for you to sponsor. I love your nails. It took me about 3 sets to figure out how to do this. It took me 3 sets of nails. The first ones I loved. The second ones, they were a different shape to my natural nail and I full on had an identity crisis about my hands not being mine. The third ones I got, I loved, but I like wasn't quite skilled enough in putting them on my actual nails. And then the last ones I just did lasted me for 2.5 weeks. And these ones are, I don't know, I think about a week in and still holding on strong, have not lost a single nail. I truthfully think I could get these to go 3 weeks if I wanted to. They are so incredible and they're so pretty. I can still be one of the girlies with really cute designs on my nails and I'm spending less money and I can do it myself. And I think it's cute and fun and girly and I would like to embrace doing more cute, fun, girly things. Speaking of other things that I would like to embrace, I have made it a priority to get out of my house and go do things. I think I have Dan to thank for a lot of this because if it weren't for him, I would stay at my house to save money. But I'm trying to make it a priority to plan to do things out of my house with friends and with Dan and bringing books places. I've just started throwing a book in my bag and just taking a book with me wherever I go. You'd be surprised how many opportunities there are to read a book while you're just out and about. Or if I get to wherever I'm meeting a friend and they're not there yet, I can just crack open my book and read instead of scrolling on my phone. The other thing I've been really loving, which I'm sure you can tell from my outfit, is in the spring and summertime, I really want to embrace being a dresses girly. I don't know what happened, but for a few years, I was convinced that I was not a dresses girly and that I had to be a pants only girly and that was the only way that I could be tough, and that is just not true. You can be tough and strong and still wear a delicate little floral dress. And I have been loving going to this consignment shop, Uptown Cheapskate. I'm truthfully in love with this store. They gave me 15% off for my birthday month in February, and I must have gone there at least 4 times to just look at things, and I would leave with pieces every single time. I absolutely love that place so much. I'm really on the hunt for some casual spring and summer dresses, so please let me know what your favorites are if you have them in the comments, because I feel like something like this is absolutely stunning and gorgeous, but I can't just wear this to work or to lounge around my house, even though that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I feel like I'm in the hunt for more dresses that I can just lounge in. Bonus points if they're a little bit longer. The last thing I will say, the last favorite that I have for you is that Formula One is back, and I am so happy. During the COVID lockdown, I was back home with my parents, and my brother was as well, and every single Sunday, my dad, my brother, and I would sit down and watch the F1 races, and it was just a nice little cozy bonding moment for our family, and the joy that I get out of watching F1 is just, the utils are so high. I love it so much, and I'm so happy that F1 is back. If you're an F1 fan too, let me know in the comments what constructors or drivers you're rooting for, unless it's Max Verstappen. If you're a Max Verstappen fan, frankly, I don't want to hear it. I do not like that man. I am a Lewis Hamilton fan, and I am very excited that he's moving to Ferrari in 2025. I can't wait to see what drama this year brings, and I really hope that Max does not win every race. The last thing I want to say is that I turned 25 on February 8th, and I'm not typically a person who celebrates my birthday. I cannot remember the last time that I actually truly celebrated my birthday. I felt like I really wanted to celebrate 25. I felt like it was important enough that I was gonna regret it if I didn't. I had my little birthday party like a month late in March, and I'm so happy that I did, because it was so nice to be able to just spend some time with friends. I got a carrot cake from a bakery, and it was the best cake I have ever eaten in my life. It was so nice. It was from this bakery in Charlotte called Suarez, and they make the most incredible cakes. But I hosted my little birthday party at Dan's. We ate some cake, we popped some champagne. It was just so nice to get some friends together. I loved it so much, and I'm really glad that I took that moment to celebrate, even though it felt like I had missed my opportunity because I wasn't celebrating near my birthday. I did really have a great time, and I think a lot of that is due to the incredible people that I have in my life who were willing to celebrate my birthday a month late and to make that really special for me. And that's everything. We're reset for spring. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really appreciate you being here. I would love to hear what your plans are for spring 2024, what things you're planning on getting up to, what you want to be reading, what your favorites have been for the past couple of months. I think resets are a great time to check in. So if there's anything that you want to see more of from me, anything you want to see less of from me, feel free, you won't hurt my feelings, to put it in the comments and let me know what you want to see on this channel, because truthfully, this is for you guys. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. I really want you guys to know how much I appreciate you being here. Doing this brings me so much joy and fulfillment, and I'm so thankful that you're all here. And I'll see you all next week. I've changed my uploading schedule a little bit. I'm posting on Fridays now so that I can have a little bit more of a weekend. I was just spending my Saturdays just editing for 12 hours, and that was not fun. So long story short, we're posting on Fridays now. I'm still playing around with timing a little bit, but videos will be up sometime on Fridays. Just wanted to let you know that videos are coming earlier now. You'll have them on Fridays. You'll have the whole weekend to find a good time to sit down and watch them. Okay, once again, thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next week.